I've done two pieces which involve court scenes. They're the worst things to do, you know. Oh. The first time I played the accused guy, right, and it was like a 2-week shoot. So you sit in your box 2 weeks while everybody else does their shtick, and at the end of the day they say, now give us some reactions. It's like, what? And 20 seconds you do all this stuff. And then the next time I play the court thing, I play, you know, the assistant to the prosecutor. So you've got no role whatsoever to play except like pretending to whisper. And as I used to put it, you know, I sharpened a lot of pencils. Brian, you need a pencil, mate? When you need a pencil, I've got them right here.
Okay. Hey, Russell, got a question about traveling. Every actor who's from New Zealand, Australia, knows that long flight to LA. What do you do during those long flights?
I knock myself out with a combination of sleeping pills and alcohol. That was really politically incorrect, wasn't that shocking? You get used to it, actually, very, very quickly. You know, I have a specific pattern that I go through when I get on board. You know, I take a little bit of work, and I read to start with, you know, and I drink a lot of water. And on that 3 or 4 hour mark, I take a sleeping pill, and then, man, I wake up just as we're coming down, you know. Just recently, I was on a plane with Rennie Harlan, actually, flying from London to Los Angeles, coming back from some meetings I had over there. And, you know, we saw each other in the lounge, but, you know, we just kind of nodded and stuff. We didn't talk, and because, you know, he said later to me on the phone, he said, because I thought we'd talk on the plane, you know. And it's like, but he said, how did you do that, man? You got on the plane, you fell asleep, you woke up in Los Angeles. What the hell, you got to teach me how to do that. You know, it's just, you kind of get used to it, and you give yourself over to the fact that you're going to be on here for a long time.
Nicole Kidman had this great story about her defining moment in Los Angeles where she realized she was somewhere else is when she got to the hotel and found there were like 50 channels on the TV. What was your defining moment?
I had a similar thing, because the first time I came to LA was, I think it's Memorial Weekend. What's the beginning of the baseball season? Is it Memorial Weekend? Who knows? Anybody know? No, they're all Canadians here. All right, what's the beginning of the ice hockey season? I'll make it up. I'll make a different story up. I got to LA and checked into the hotel room. I had all these things that I was going to do. I was going to go out and see people and all this sort of stuff, but I turned on the television, same thing. I watched baseball for like 72 hours straight.
A buddy of mine owns some classic cars that he rents to movie companies sometimes, and he always gets thrown off the set because he's so protective of the cars.
Right.
They won't scratch him. How do the guys who own the cars in this film, how do they react to the actors working with them?
Well, they're always very nervous to start with, but it's the same thing with, you know, with stunts or props. Everybody's always kind of, until they kind of work out that you have a respect for the things that you're using, and, you know, and not gonna. But I kind of threw that car around all over the place, and the only damage that we did to it, I think it was at one point getting out of the car as Bud, you know, who's a bit of a tank of a bloke, you know. I opened the door with such force that it wouldn't close again.
And what did he say to you afterwards?
Well, bring in the other car.
No, you're pretty scary in this movie. I mean, you're very intimidating. In real life, do you ever have that effect on people?
I'm a patsy. No, not really. I don't think.
You know, the accent
Short
thing.
answer.
Yes, right. I use that. You know, Kenneth Branagh, after Dead Again, a lot of people in the States didn't really know who he was.
Right.
And he was doing the press interviews, and people were amazed to find out he wasn't American. He has a British accent. Are you finding that? Are people walking in here or coming up to you and go, "What? You talk funny"?
Yeah, all the time. And it's funny because I'll be talking to somebody with an American accent just because I'm feeling lazy or something at the time, and they'll go, "You know, I love your accent." It's like, I'm not using it at the moment. You'll just get used to actually saying that. I think it's kind of like just a gut reaction, not gut reaction, knee-jerk reaction. People, you know, that they think the Australian accent is kind of sounds funny or whatever.
Well, is that one of the highest compliments an actor can receive when they don't realize that you're not American?
I think the highest compliment an actor can receive is like $10 million.
Okay, and okay, I've never interviewed Kim Basinger.
I don't know where that came from, mate, sorry.
Good answer, good soundbite. Kim Basinger, I've never met her, I'm about to in a few minutes there.
You lucky devil, you a lucky dog.
Okay, your reaction, how impressed were you?
Very impressed. You know, she's a great actress and she's a very lovely woman. Yeah. You know, the way I like to put it with Kim is that she's a great dancer. She has a brilliant spatial instinct, you know, and a great sense of rhythm, you know.
Anything about her surprise you?
Yeah, it did actually, because the real Kim is like this T-shirt and jeans wearing stay-at-home mum. You know, that's the real Kim. But you know, her image or the way she's perceived from people is this hugely glamorous movie star, and she is. There's nothing she can do about that, whether she, you know, wants to sort of try and hide from it or not. You know, you just, you know, put her in a gown or whatever, and it's just there. You know, she just has it within her. She's old-time glamour.